All right, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit early, our timing got a little messed up there. We do apologize for that, but the qualifying is underway. We again apparently messed up our timings pretty bad here. I totally shot the times here, but qualifying is underway, so we'll go ahead and jump down to it real fast here. As we are going to go to Ed Sauls, who's out on the track first in the number 81. And of course, as always here in this series now, we'll kind of always we either have Chuck Kemper or Randy Post. Today we do have a Chuck Kemper in the booth. So Chuck, welcome to the booth once again.
Thanks, sir. Afternoon.
It is indeed afternoon. I'll probably call it night a few times, as it seems like lately all the days have run together here. But it is an afternoon, nice and sunny out, but it's a night race for us. And right now, once again, Aaron Maspero does have the top time with a 15:3:91. But we've seen a lot of pretty good times here in practice.
15:3:91 is going to be really tough to beat. That is smoking on this track.
It is indeed. If you look back to a second place, Ed Sauls a 15:5:42. So about exactly 0.151 off. So a little bit off. Rachel Hunt, last week's winner. I still am just congratulations to her on that win. That was an outstanding performance, getting her first win here ever in the series.
Yeah, all the races she's put into that time, she's put into that practice, she's put into that, well deserved.
Yeah, definitely a well-deserved win. And it looks like Brandon Kaufman is currently not completed a lap, but he will be soon. Bruce Wright has not put in a time. Doug Pickering is not. Obviously, you will not be qualifying. You are here in the booth. Jason Deere, 16:2:77 in sixth place. But we'll go ahead and put your qualifying times up on the screen. And while these guys go around this track just for a little bit here, we do want to go ahead and, of course, get to our quick sponsor shout-outs real quick that we're getting a little bit late getting to. We kind of misjudged the time there, but we do want to give a big shout-out, of course, to Walls Beard Co., Sim Speed Shop, Northwest Racing Series, Ohio IndyCar League, iBog, and Randy's Wraps here for the post-race show. And, of course, here on the league side of things, we do have TJ Woodworking, the official championship sponsor, providing all the plaques for the champions. If you need any plaques done or any woodworking done, give them a call at 515-979-0415. And, of course, the presenting sponsor here for the series, that is T&D Rustic Decor. If you're in the Oklahoma area, make sure you go look them up and take them or go by and take a visit to their store. And if you're not, just look them up on tndrusticdecor.com. We'll take you to their Facebook page, and you can also have them look yourself up, and they can get it shipped out to you. That being said, it is time to get to the national anthem real fast, so we will be right back.
We take you down onto the track for our opening ceremonies.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Please remove your hats.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here, and it is time to go through your Walls Beard Co. starting grid. We will jump down to that as your pole sitter here for tonight's race is going to be the 41 of Aaron Maspero with a 15.391. His teammate on the outside, the 17 of Doug Pickering with a 15.498. So a little bit off of this time. We'll see if those two are side by side here shortly. Row 2 is going to be the 81 of Ed Sauls and the 15 of Brandon Kaufman. Row 3 is going to be the 16 of Rachel Hunt, last week's winner, and the 21 of Brian Jones. Row 4 is going to be the 54 of Randy Post and the 45 of Jason Deere. Just to note here, those two actually started side by side in that exact same order last week, so we'll see if they can continue this trend. Row 5 is, well, obviously Chuck Kemper in the 40 is not going to be on the track as you're in here in the booth. And the 9.99 of Bruce Wright going to be rounding out 10th place, technically 9th. That will do it here for the Walls Beard Co. starting grid. And as always, wondering, we do have a few cars missing here that are normally here. But I do expect to see some great racing because the ones that are here are usually grouped together and they put on a good show.
Well, and these are your guys, the guys that are here, as you mentioned, these are the guys that are up front every week. These are the guys that are putting in the work. These setups are tough, man. So you got guys working Fridays, working Saturdays, setting up for a Sunday race.
Yeah.
Put the time into it.
These are definitely the guys that put in the time, and I expect to see them do as they always do, put on a great show here for everyone. Again, 9 drivers starting here, and we'll see. Can Rachel maybe duplicate her win? Definitely a good win. Some unfortunate luck for the 41 of Aaron Maspero, having his his spring actually broke on his throttle. Good news, he has it fixed. I think we've seen a picture of it. It was definitely rigged together there. We do what we have to do, though, to get these cars running, and that's what he's done here. Hopefully it holds up for him, and there's a good chance we may see him in victory lane again tonight.
Oh, there's a good chance. But, as last week proved, anything can happen, anybody can win.
Yeah, definitely anybody can win. There's people out there looking to get a win, especially the 81 of Ed Sauls. He's definitely looking to get a win. He's just had some bad luck in the last season, but he has definitely turned that around, I think, this season. He's been running up front, and it just seems like something happens later in the race here. So he is getting that bad luck passed, and I think he may have a shot here to get at least the top 3, if not the win.
I'm getting ready to go green. Here we go.
It is a green flag is in the air once again. Oh, once again here, total for the weekend or whatever. But yeah, well, that is just not a day today. Aaron Maspero out front. And here comes Ed Sauls. He's already getting to the inside, and it looks like he will take second over Doug Pickering, and he does at the line.
Yeah, it's tough to pass on the outside of this track. Very tough. You got to do it on new tires, though. I've seen Aaron do it. I've seen Doug do it. I've seen Ed do it. But you got to do it in those early laps, and evidently Doug's just a little too loose to try it.
Yeah, and right behind them, of course, in 4th is Rachel Hunt. Brandon Kaufman in 5th place. He actually, for the ones that don't know, he was last season's admin. He is now racing with a new admin in place, so he is out here on the track, and right now sitting in 5th place. Brian Jones right behind him, a proven champion trying to get up to the front. He has kind of acquired some of that luck maybe of Ed, as he just hasn't been able to quite get to the front, and then when he does, something seems to happen. But however, Ed's sitting in 2nd place still.
Yeah, Brandon Kaufman making a move inside Rachel Hunt, like he's going to pull it off. Well, no, here comes Rachel. She's not giving up. Whoa, washed up the track a little bit. Yeah, you're absolutely right. This luck thing is so weird. I know last season was one of the most frustrating for me. You couldn't get out of anybody's way for some reason, or those guys that were spinning were going to do it right next to you and on you. It's weird how that works.
Yeah.
I think Ed had a lot of cleaner races this season. now his driving talents are showing.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's almost like that. The bad luck bug just kind of gets passed around from driver to driver. It never truly actually leaves. It's just getting passed on to somebody else. Obviously, Aaron Maspero had it last week. Still having some issues with his mic, so if he does win, we unfortunately won't get to have a word with him to see how his pedal did work out. Obviously, it's working right now, but again, right now he's mostly on the gas. It seemed to break on him last week during the caution when he let off of it and then had to hit it again. So if he's mostly on it, I don't think we'll have too many issues here. But Ed is actually running him down right now.
Well, they're probably saving little tires. They've got a pretty good lead on the next three, which of Brandon Kaufman and Ryan Jones both got past Rachel Hunt. Now, that's a Rachel style race. She's probably taking it a little easy in the early laps.
Yeah, and again, that's not a bad strategy. Take it easy, save your tires and fuel. And we've seen her in the past. She will stay out a little bit longer than some of the rest of these guys because of the fact that she conserves a little bit, so she can stay out there. And if a caution does come out, she takes advantage of that and can go out there and lead those laps and possibly come in when the caution's out and not have to fall back as far. So she's definitely got a lot of strategy going on in there. And one driver we'll talk about here for a minute is the 999 of Bruce Wright. I believe he's been gone for a week or two. We have not talked about him because he hadn't been here, but he is back here. I believe work schedule was getting in the way, but good to see him back racing with us.
Yeah, it's a shame when all that adult stuff gets in the way of having fun. Happens to all of us.
Yeah, it does, unfortunately. It's just one of them things that just you don't like to do, but unfortunately, if it ain't for the work stuff, you don't get to do the fun stuff, so has to be done.
And Doug making a move on Ed Sauls, dove down underneath him, see if he had to pull off the crossover. Nope.
He does not, so Doug trying to work his way back to the front now to see if he can get up to his teammate. But I think those two battling kind of gave Aaron Maspero the lead he needed to kind of pull away. I swear, just about every time they come out of turn 4, it looks like they're scraping that wall. They're not, but they are getting so close to it. It's just so scary watching them come out of these corners, and we'll see if we can zoom in just a little bit right there. And he got a little bit off of it, but every once in a while it looks like they basically hit the wall. They're just that close to it.
And this is such a fast track. These guys, you can't tell, of course, the speeds they're running, but it's up in the 120s, 130s going into the corner. And for such a short track, that's a lot of speed. They're that wall, outside wall. If it was back another foot, these guys probably wouldn't be getting off the gas at all. They could about floorboard it all the way around.
Yeah, and we're looking at this. As they come into the corner to start slowing down and off the straightaway, they're hitting exactly, we're watching Ed, about 128 was what he topped out at. So, yeah, like you said, right at 120. And this track would be very interesting if they, took it out just a little bit. And correct me if I'm wrong, aren't they using similar to their Iowa setup for this race?
I know some guys started off with that. Yep, I know some guys were actually carrying over their Phoenix setup because it's just there's a little bit more bank in this than Phoenix sees, but you treat all these little short tracks as a flat track, and you're going to be okay, and you're going to put up good speeds. Now, tire wear is a whole different issue.
And
we got
caution.
Bruce right into the wall, it looks like.
It is indeed. Let's go back to the replay camera, and we'll see what happened as he is sitting backwards on the track. And I don't think anybody had any play in this, as it was nobody really around him except for Jason Deere. Well, I guess there was a few more around him, but right in here, he looked like he slowed down a little bit. Not sure if maybe he was trying to get to pit road. I don't know. He washed up in front of the 45. Don't think there was any contact there, though, as I didn't see any damage to the back of the truck before he hit the inside wall, though.
Everybody's heading pit road except Doug Pickering.
Oh,
Not sure what Doug's up to.
well, maybe out there trying to get that bonus points. We didn't have a chance to go through the point standings because we apparently misjudged the time. That is all the apologies on that. But Doug Pickering is ahead only by 5 points over Brian Jones in the point standings for first place. So that very well could be what he's doing, as we'll see. He is on the apron now, so looks like maybe he is going to pull in. So he is. Looks like he did lead that lap, so he will get the bonus point. He's still early in the race. We're just at a quarter of the way done. That's not a bad call to go out there and get that bonus point.
With this short field, no, it's not a terrible call. The chances are better with this short field of being able to get up through the back again without causing a lot of damage. And yeah, you wouldn't want to do that with 30 or 40 trucks on this track, but
yeah, definitely wouldn't. And I'm wondering too. Doug's a very fast driver, but Aaron being about 0.2 faster during qualifying, I'm wondering if he, would love to get by him and is going to hope to pass him, but wondering, if I can't get by him, I'm not going to lead a lap, this being my chance to do that. Could have been the reasoning behind that going in. Plus the fact that he's going to have 1 lap fresher tires and the field's not very big today. Like you said, if this had been, a full field of 30-plus cars, probably not the best idea. But with this short of field, he'll be only starting at the back, and actually, we'll see, he's actually going to be starting 7th, so not at the complete rear of the field, as Bruce Wright is 2 laps down. Jason Deere is now currently on the lead lap, so not a bad call, I don't think. We'll see how it plays out for him, as the lights are already off on the pace car.
Yep, and racing behind Aaron, if you're the guy thinking, well, I'm just going to ride here and wait for him to make a mistake, you're wrong. Aaron doesn't make many mistakes. He's dead on his marks every time. He's one of the smoothest guys I've ever seen drive these trucks. So, not a bad strategy for Doug. Doug, come back up there.
He will indeed. I have no doubts about it here, as green flag is back in the air, and Aaron Maspero going to hold him all the way nearly to the line, as that is his prerogative to hold him off or get it going right away, as he's in the restart zone. Oh, we got the 21 going around, though. Caution is out once again for Brian Jones, and Rachel Hunt getting involved as well.
Going to be interesting. Ed Saul's had his truck nose out there ahead of Aaron, but just going to be interesting to see how iRacing scores that.
Looking at our scoring here on our timing screen, it is showing Ed ahead of him at the moment. So we'll see. Like you said, we'll have to kind of wait and see how they actually score him. That could be a lucky break for Ed, as passing is difficult on the outside. But watching the 21, I believe Rachel slid up just a little bit. Maybe the 21 came down a little bit as well. That was on the restart, so they were side by side trying to get everything sorted out. And unfortunately, that is when some cautions do happen.
Well, and actually topping off the fuel right here is not a bad situation. If this thing goes green, which we know these guys are very capable of doing, 70 laps, yep, they can do that on a tank of gas. So we'll see.
We will have to see, and it is showing Ed Sauls in the 81 as your new race leader here. So this could play out good for Ed if they can make it on fuel here. If he can just hold that bottom, it may make it difficult to pass, as we've already seen the outside is not a good line to pass. He very well could hang on to this lead, and once those tires get worn off, it's going to be even harder to make a pass. So he's sitting in a good spot right now, I think.
It all depends on where, if you got the bottom line, it all depends on where you take off and how you run that first turn. You run the outside guy up a little bit, and then he's not going to get that speed coming off the turns. He's got to move up further than he wanted. As you saw on that last restart, Aaron kind of hugged the bottom, well, a half a lane up, and gave Ed a little room to get in the gas. And that's how Ed got ahead of him. So we'll see what Ed does here on this restart.
We will indeed. And while we have a break into the racing action here, we do want to remind everyone that we have another race coming up tonight for Race Core Xfinity, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And of course, the best way to get notified of that is to hit the subscribe button and the little bell to be notified of all future broadcasting events we have going on. And definitely hit the thumbs up if you like the racing. Let us know, the drivers know, all the other fans and sponsors know that you like the racing. That being said, also be paying attention to the VRN Facebook page and website, as we do have some announcements coming up here next week. So stay tuned for that as well. We've got some big news to announce. Hopefully, if all goes to plan, we'll get that out, so be staying tuned for that. But it looks like we are just about ready to get the green flag. It is out once again. Edsall's leading them to the line, and it looks like Aaron Maspero is going to beat him to the line, but it was on the outside, and the green flag was out, so that is a perfectly legal little pass there. Unfortunately, it just didn't stick.
Now look at Brandon Kaufman on the move, trying to take the lead here.
And he very well could do it if he can push the 81, or not really push him, but keep him up there, but it didn't work. But that's not to say he won't get by the 41 and take second place, as well, I can't say he's cleared him, but he is right there trying to clear him. But Aaron is fast enough that he's on the back bumper, but it didn't work, as the 15 of Brandon Kaufman is going to take second place.
And you already have Doug Pickering up to fourth. After that little dust up, Bruce Wright, I thought he got his lap back. Still showing him a lap down.
He ended up, because of that, I think he towed. He went 2 laps down, so he did get one of them back. He just didn't get the second one back
Okay,
yet.
I didn't see the second one.
So definitely on his way. If we have another caution, he will be the lucky dog and get that lap back. Aaron Maspero, though, trying to make something happen on the outside. Couldn't make it happen, but he has kind of got his way into the bottom groove again, and he's pushed the 15 of Kaufman up. And now Brandon Kaufman's having to fight on the outside, and I think we may see a pass.
Good job of Aaron keeping himself off of Brandon. He started to slide up, got off the gas. Could have took them both out really easy, but that's the kind of driver Aaron is.
Yeah, definitely.
Brandon Kaufman. I mean, I'm glad, happy to see him up there, clean racing.
It takes a lot of effort. For people that aren't familiar with it, it takes a lot of effort, especially this track with the speeds these guys are doing, to not slide up. You really have to be working the gas and the brake and the steering wheel, trying to stay off, and it takes a lot for the person above not to try to pinch them down too much, because if you do, it doesn't matter how much they work. They're probably going to slide up into you because you pinch them down. Both of them gave each other plenty of room, and they did a good job. But Bruce Wright back on pit road again here. Not sure what for, but he is now 3 laps down again. And you got a battle starting to brew. It's not 100% there yet, but Aaron Maspero all over the back bumper of Ed Sauls in that 81 machine. I have a feeling maybe in the next 10 laps, we may see another attempt to try to get this lead back from the 41.
Well, it all depends. If Ed keeps driving out of his rearview mirror, yep, absolutely, because it's going to cause him to overdrive and wash up a turn, probably here in turn 3, and Aaron will slide right underneath him.
Yeah, and that's a saying, we hear about it all the time here. You've got to race your competitors, but you're more importantly, you've got to race the track. If you're ahead of them, do your own thing, hit your marks, take it to the bottom, wherever you're fast at, just run that line, make the car behind you, make them get out of their line and try to find somewhere else. You don't race them, you just race the track, and that is the opposite of obviously mirror driving. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be watching them. You want to watch the track and just hit your lines and your marks and make them have to work harder to get by you.
Perfect example of that was Rachel Hunt's win last week. The last 10, 11 laps of that, she ran a perfect line. Guys couldn't get around her. they would have been forced to either spin out diving it too low or smack the wall going too high. So that's what Ed needs to do right now. Just be patient, run your line, hit your marks. Kind of surprising they're putting Rachel Hunt in a lap down.
Yeah, it's well, she does have a lot of damage to the front of the truck. She was involved in that last caution, so her truck may not be handling as best as she would like. As when the 999 got into the wreck there, oh no, sorry, the 21 of Brian Jones spun out, collected Rachel with him. So that is unfortunate for her after having such a good race last week to be involved in it this week, going a lap down. But she is the lucky dog contender right now, as Bruce Wright is 5 laps down. He is back on the track though, but he went in there for about a 45-second stop. So I'm not sure if he just opted to get some damage repaired or what might have happened. But he did go back down pit road. Is now 5 laps down.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either. Just very strange. Must have still had damage.
Something.
Sometimes you'll have front end damage on these trucks, and you don't realize the extent of it until you start to overheat.
Yeah, it's unfortunate here. Though, go back to the front here. Ed, looking at qualifying, you really can't get a grasp of who is actually going to win the race. You know who's fast on a single lap or 2 laps, but as far as consistently being fast here, you just don't know. Aaron Maspero, 15.978 last time by, as they're about to complete another lap. A 16.027 to a 16.062 as he is taking to the inside, and he may try to make a run here, but Ed Sauls has now led 26 laps to 27 for Aaron Maspero, and he's going to tie it now, 27. So, as far as the race goes, we're on lap 60. Only 40 laps to go. If they don't have to pit again, Aaron Maspero is going to have to do everything in his power to get by the 81. But this could be Ed Sauls' race to win, so definitely would be outstanding for him to get back in victory lane.
All right, this goes out to all the other league owners, drivers, anybody running this series as well. If you want an example of what give and take is and what the best drivers on iRacing do to stay competitive week in, week out, clip this video right now and watch what Aaron Maspero is doing. He has backed off of hitting Ed 3 or 4 times, just did it right there. He didn't have the run, so he backed off of him. He could have easily hit Ed in the right rear and taken him out, but that's what the best do. They don't have to run over you. They wait till you make that mistake or slide up the track a little bit and then make their move.
And it did. He waited, he set back, made the move, and now he is your new race leader.
Goes Bruce right around again.
And he is indeed smoking this time. The caution is not coming out. He's going the right direction. However, there is a ton of smoke coming from that engine. So we'll see. He's going to dive it to the bottom, and I think he is going to pull it to a stop here. We'll see. He's off the racing surface, so a caution will not come out for it. So he is going to be on pit road now. No caution because he was off the racing surface.
Yeah, and he's having to be towed in, so his day's pretty much done, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and I believe he may have already used his fast repair on top of that. So, and the thing, just a single car incident. There was nobody around him that time either. And that's never what you want, is Ed Sauls now scraping the wall. I have a feeling Ed may be overdriving it a little bit. He wants to get back up there to the lead as he just scraped the wall there. Hopefully it was just a one-time deal.
Well, Ed's not satisfied with second place, and then, no driver is, but Ed takes it a little personally. He got passed by Aaron Maspero, and now he's got Brandon Kaufman breathing down his neck.
Yeah, and it's one of those things, he's not overdriving it because he's mad or anything like that. He's passionate. He wants to get up there and get the win, and sometimes that passion, we've all had it, leads to overdriving. So it's just he's that dedicated to racing and to the series that he wants to do the best he can. And he's doing it. He's second place right now as he pulls away a little bit from Brandon Kaufman here. It looks like maybe he's settled back in now, and he's pulling away from the 15.
Well, there is nobody harder on himself. I race with a bunch of guys, and Ed is by far the hardest on himself of anybody. You know, he knows when he misses his marks, and he'll gather it back up and put on a good run. We got a lot of racing left to do.
Yeah, we do. We're coming up on lap 70 here in 3 laps. So just over 30 laps to go. So 32 laps to go for only 2 cautions so far. 9 laps under caution. So, you know, still quite a bit of racing. But speaking of cautions, there is one. And it looks like it's going to involve the 54 and the 45 of Randy Post and Jason Deere. Let's go back and take a look here on the replay camera. Well, just as we talk about only 2 cautions, I think we may have just jinxed it, or I just jinxed it as a caution comes out.
This is going to get interesting because now these guys. This is basically going to be a 28-lap shootout right now. Fresh tires. Strategy-wise, don't know how much gas I'd put in. I don't know that I'd make it full. Depends on how loose or tight you are, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And here in the replay, it looks like, I'm not sure, maybe the 54 got a run, but just a shot to the back bumper of the 54 of Jason Deere. Again, it didn't look anything dirty. I think he just had a run, and maybe Jason got off the corner a little bit bad, and just as soon as he did, you see it, he was already checking up, and checked up even more as soon as he hit him. So nothing, malicious or dirty, just a racing incident there on the track. Interesting enough here, I want to point this out. Brian Jones did not come down pit road during all of this.
We'll see how that pans out.
That's
He may have done what he talked about Doug doing earlier. Oh, he didn't even lead the lap though, did he?
he has led 1 lap now, so we'll see if he comes in this time. As we're looking at the point standings, he is second place right now, so he is 5 points behind. So this, as they run, would get him a bonus point, and he is indeed coming in. So another driver possibly just staying out to get the bonus point.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. I missed what happened coming off pit road. Looks like Ed lost a position, Doug gained a position. Maybe Doug only took right sides, I don't know. That would be kind of crazy, but not impossible.
And looking here at our timing screen,
Ed Saul seems to be having issues on the track here.
Oh, we'll go back to him here. Yeah, he is quite a ways back there. And I'm not sure what's going on, but it looks like he is going to stay ahead of Rachel. But looking at their timing screen here, for the top 4 drivers here, as far as pit stops go, 14.2, 14.4, 14.7, and Ed had a 16.6 second stop. So a slower stop for Ed. I'm wondering if maybe he put in a bit more fuel than these guys.
Fuel, or maybe him being slow on the track right now makes me wonder if he's not having some kind of headset or a steering wheel issue or something.
Yeah, and not surprising. We have seen headset issues, still seeing headset issues with the 41. We've seen the throttle issues, steering wheel issues.
Okay.
We'll see. Green flag is back out. He's grouped up, ready to go here, so we'll see.
Wait a minute. Something's wrong with this restart. Brian Jones should not have been starting in the 4th position. I don't know what that was all about. Ed Saul should have been on the outside in the 4th position.
That is very interesting, as they somehow swap spots there a little bit too.
They sort themselves out, and then that's probably, Brian being Brian and being the guy that he is, gave Ed back the positions, what I'm guessing. But
ooh, and Ed gets loose. He's hanging on to it. Oh, and he spins it out and collects Rachel.
Right up to Rachel.
Oh, we were live watching that, so we won't go back to the replay camera. It just went into the corner and it just broke loose on him, and we've seen that quite a bit this season too.
Yeah, just curious if he's made any in-car adjustments in that pit stop. That's
Well, we can definitely find out here. We'll see if he goes down pit road. If he doesn't, we can see if we can pull him to the booth real fast.
he should have come down pit road there. He's sustained a lot of damage. And, the worst that happened is he'd still been starting right where he was, really.
Yeah, it looks like, unfortunately, If you look back to the 16 of Rachel Hunt, that damage is going to hurt her very badly as that engine is smoking. So, excuse me, it looks like she is going to have to come down pit road. I'm not sure if she's used her fast repair or not, but she is coming down pit road, so hopefully she has not and can get that car fixed. She is currently one lap down. She was set to get the lucky dog.
Looks like the engine just shut down on it. I saw that one dreaded puff of smoke at the end you don't want to see.
Yeah, it gets a little, I believe it's a little bit darker, and then it's gone. Hopefully she can make it to pit road. Good news for her, unfortunately, for starting the race, she started a little further back, at least about 4th or 5th. That means her pit stall will be a little closer. Coasting at 8 miles an hour, I don't think she's going to make it back to her pit stall.
She's not under power. Sounds like some of that smoke might be choking you up, bud.
I believe it is. So she's fumigating the track there a little bit. Good news is
spraying for mosquitoes.
She's spraying for the mosquitoes, so we won't have any of those. But she is literally still coasting at 3 miles an hour, and her pit stall is actually about 4th place. So I don't think she's going to make it. That is unfortunate, as she is now having to tow to pit road. So not the ending she wanted here after such a great race last week.
Oh.
She
put up such a good qualifying time too. I don't know if her setup was too aggressive and just wasn't, was wearing out the tires too fast. I don't know. Hard to say.
It's so hard without being down there, listening to what they're saying on their radios. It makes it very difficult to know exactly what's going on. What we do know is going on is the caution lights are off. We've had 4 cautions for 18 laps out of 100. We now have 20 laps to go, so like you said, it's going to be a 19-lap shootout here. The question is, will we see another caution, or we'll just go green the rest of the way? Also, we have Aaron Maspero back out front once again, and then there is the pace car diving off. Green flag back in the air once again, and Aaron Maspero gets a decent jump there. I don't know if it was the best he's ever had, but it was enough to keep him in the lead.
Yeah, Doug Pickering tried to power move around him, and it's they both did an outstanding job of staying off each other.
They did indeed, and here comes the 15 of Kaufman to the inside again. And he may try to get to the inside. He's going to try to get maybe both those spots, but he will take 2nd place once again. And now Doug Pickering is back to 3rd.
Is loose, coming off at 4.
Ooh, and he what a save, too. We got a glimpse of it. He was nearly completely sideways, just like Ed was the last lap. And he recovers from it here. Randy Post, after being involved in an incident, he's back on the lead lap now in 6th place. Jason Deere, 4 laps down. Rachel Hunt's now 7 laps down on pit road. Bruce Wright is unfortunately out of the race here, 30 laps down. And up front is Aaron Maspero, followed by Brandon Kaufman and Doug Pickering right behind him. And we may see a battle for the lead. I don't know. It really just depends on how hard the 41 of Aaron Maspero drives this truck right now.
Yeah, Brandon needs to keep his wits about him. He's got 2 of the best. He's sandwiched in between them. So, good luck with that. Rachel just messaged over race chat. She is done.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Engine is gone and already used the fast repair, so that's a disappointing finish for her here. But still, she comes in here, races every single week. So hopefully she leaves with her head up high, because that was it's just a heck of a driver to come in here and race every single week. Regardless, I'm still stoked she got the win last week. But right now, it still looks like Aaron Maspero has pulled away just a little bit. But I'm not too determined or too sure who is actually going to get second place right now, as it looks like Doug Pickering is going to try to make a pass for the lead. Or for second, sorry.
Well, if you saw going into 1, I think Brandon Kaufman went in maybe just a little hot and washed up a little bit, giving Doug Pickering the inside. And Doug took advantage of it. Now, that's not to say Brandon can't get back around him, because Brandon's been running great times. Yeah,
it's interesting to watch him race. We've watched him race here and I believe upper edge. So definitely a great driver, and just doing a fantastic job of hanging in there right now. Top 3 finish, you can't be disappointed with that by any means. Ed Sauls is currently sitting in 4th. He has a lot of damage to the front and back of that truck, and unfortunately, it may hinder him here a little bit, as he's got the 54 and the 21 all over his back bumper. And looks like the 54 is fairly clean, but the 21 of Brian Jones has quite a bit of damage on his truck as well.
Yeah, Randy Jones, or Brian Jones, is looks like the whole right front side of his truck is smashed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Randy Post putting on a good show. He's giving Ed all Ed can handle. But like you mentioned, Ed's got quite a bit of damage as well.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if that's actually going to hurt him now. I thought it would, but if you look here, the 21 of Brian Jones, with all that damage, actually got by Randy Post, who has a clean car, and most notably, he did it on the outside.
He did.
So, it goes to show you right there as the 21 slides it around, smacks the outside wall, and he will spin it around, and no caution.
No caution.
That is good news and bad news. Bad news for the 21. The good news is we were within the time frame that it would end the race, as he is right in front of the leaders now. He's going to stay up high and let them by, though. So good news is the caution did not come out, and Aaron Maspero gets spun by his own teammate, and the caution comes out, and it looks like it's being scored as Doug Pickering going to get the win here.
Well, I was watching the guys there. I was watching Randy and Ed go at it. I didn't even see what happened up front.
Well, that was a. It looked like it wouldn't look like as we'll take a quick look at it. Doug Pickering just got into the back bumper of his teammate Aaron Maspero, and right after they got by these guys, I don't think it had anything to do with the fact they just passed the lap car, but right as they did, Doug Pickering got into the back bumper of Aaron. Oh, and then not sure what Brandon Kaufman did, but he just slammed into the 17.
Yeah, he was trying to get through there before the caution come out. Yeah, a tough one here for the admin to call. I mean, Doug did cause the wreck, right?
I believe so, and he is being scored. We'll go back to live.
Given EOL.
He is given the EOL. I'm sure he probably admitted to that one as well. Anyway, he is that type of driver. It does stink for Doug, though.
Hold on here. Are you telling me our admin buddy Brandon Kaufman is going to get the win?
That is the way it is looking like. Brandon Kaufman is going to bring home the win.
How about that?
What a race. There it is. Your official race winner is going to be Brandon Kaufman, the former race control here, bringing home the win. And something tells me he's going to be hooting and hollering and doing some donuts here very shortly. That being said, before we get to talking to these drivers and probably listening to Brandon do some celebrating, it is that time, of course, that we are going to go ahead and go through your unofficial race results. As he does his burnouts, there is your race winner. The number 15 of Brandon Kaufman, finishing in second, is going to be the 41 of Aaron Maspero. Third place, the 81 of Ed Sauls, finishing a podium finish because of that. Fourth place will be the 54 of Randy Post. Fifth place will be the 17 of Doug Pickering. Sixth place will be Brian Jones. Seventh place, Jason Deere. Eighth place, Rachel Hunt. And rounding out the field in ninth place will be Bruce Wright. Of course, obviously, you, Chuck Kemper, were not racing. You were here in the booth with us, and that will do it here for
I was
you.
racing in Hart.
Yes, he was racing in a Hart. So give us just a minute, folks. We are going to get a hold of our top three drivers, get them up here in the booth with us, and we will be right back here with the rest of your post-race show presented by Randy's Wraps. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here with your post-race show. Before we get to Ed and Brandon, unfortunately, we can't talk to second place. That is Aaron Maspero. But what we do have is a message from him. He wants to make sure we thank Doug for the setup. He said without him, they wouldn't be where they're at. So big shout out to Aaron Maspero on second place here today, and to his sponsors, and of course he mentioned Doug for putting them in the position they were to get second place. Coming in at third place here, it's just awesome to see you are back in the top three. Again, we've talked about it. Had a little bit of just not the best luck here, getting caught up in other people's messes, but didn't happen today. You finished third, so how does it feel to be sitting back in the podium once again?
Feels great. It's been quite a while.
Well, that is definitely good. A top three is always a good place to be sitting. An outstanding race here. You did have a little incident on the track there, spinning out. What happened there? Did the truck just get loose on you and break out?
Yeah, it just broke loose on me. I tried to correct it, and I overcorrected it, and got hit by somebody. I think it was Rachel.
And I'm not sure what's going on with your mic, Ed, but we're getting a little, I don't know what it's like kind of a staticky noise going on. But we can still hear you. It's just a little weird sounding, but an outstanding race here. To put yourself back in third place, that is definitely a good place to finish. We'll see how it puts you in the point standings once it's all said and done. But we know you got some sponsors you want to thank, and anyone you just want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, definitely TJ Woodwork. Some of the things standing. Charles.
Well, I think we heard some of that. I believe maybe the mic issue is coming over from Aaron to you, so that is unfortunate. We heard bits and pieces of that. But we know you were thanking T&D, Arc Selves, of course, and TJ Woodworking. Hopefully we can get that mic sorted out for you here, but congrats once again on third place. And as always, it's good to have you back in the booth talking to you again. So go out there and celebrate that third place. We can't talk the second. We just gave you his thoughts on the race. And of course, winning this race here is the old race control here for the series. That is the 15 of Brandon Kaufman. So first off, Brandon, how does it feel to be sitting in victory lane?
Well, it's good to be sitting in victory lane. It's different, though, when I was helping admin and everything. But to be in this position, it's different, but it's still really good.
Well, definitely a win is always a good place to be, as we see you sitting there. So, going through this race here, you battled with Aaron and Doug pretty much all race long. Ed getting up there at some points as well. Coming into this race, and then going quite a few laps into it, did you think you had the truck to win, or was it going to be a fight? And then did you just get maybe a little bit of luck there at the end, too, with that incident between the 17 and the 41?
Yeah, well, it was definitely luck. I wasn't as fast as Aaron, and I knew Doug had a good setup underneath of him, too. Ed was up there, most of the whole race. And I could compete with them on restarts. I had a short run car. It was a good setup. I thank Chuck for that, helping me out there. But yeah, I didn't think I had the car in the long run to win. I could definitely compete for like 3 or 4 laps after the restart, but when that whole thing went out with Aaron and Doug there at the end, I kind of laid back. I fell off the pace a little bit from them. But race control made their decisions, and I wasn't sure what was going to go down, but we came out on the right side of it, I guess.
Well, you definitely did here. Know you got stuff to do and people to go talk to and all that good stuff. But any sponsors you want to thank and anyone you want to give a shout out to before we sign off for the night?
Yeah, definitely just the league sponsors. T&D Rustic Decor, TJ Woodworking, for sticking on board for the few, for the seasons we've been going on so far. Also, I got Bloomsburg University on the car. I'll be attending there starting next semester. And as long as the Beer Hill Gang, if you're from Central PA and you're watching this, I'm sure you know what the Beer Hill Gang is. And you guys, for broadcasting, you always do a great job, Charles, and you're always improving. So thank you for that.
All right. Well, that is going to do it here for this broadcast. Of course, we still have some more racing coming up later tonight. We do have the Race Course Series, Xfinity Series, coming up tonight at 7:10 Central, 8:10 Eastern. So if you are still around, make sure you stay tuned for that one as well. Some more great racing coming up. We want to thank all of our sponsors as well. Walls Beard Co., Northwest Racing Series, Sim Speed Shop Series, Northwest Racing Series, we'll get it right one day, Ohio IndyCar League, iBog, and Randy's Wraps presenting this post-race show. Make sure you check them out at Randy's Wraps on Facebook to get a quality paint job for a decent price. And on the racing side of things, big shout out to all their sponsors, TJ Woodworking and T&D Rustic Decor. Make sure you check out both of these great partners. That being said, it is time to sign off, so we'll see you later tonight for another great race here on Virtual Racing Network. Until then, stay safe and have a great Sunday afternoon.
This copyrighted broadcast may not be used in any form without the authorized written consent of Virtual Racing Network. VRN would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.